On December 3rd, 2025, an 18-year-old student named Henry Nowak tragically lost his life on the streets of Southampton, England. But it wasn't just the devastating nature of this crime that shocked the nation. It was what happened the moment law enforcement arrived. This case has evolved into a national crisis involving a fatal assault, a false accusation of racism, leaked body cam footage, and widespread violent protests. The public is asking one massive question. How could officials detain a dying teenager while he explicitly told them he was severely wounded and couldn't breathe?
What's happened to you, right? You've been stabbed whereabouts? I don't think you have, mate.
Today, we are looking strictly at the facts. We are breaking down the timeline, the evidence, and the specific procedures of the Henry Nowak case. Henry Nowak was an 18-year-old university student, originally from Essex. He had just started his first year at the University of Southampton and was the first in his family to attend university. According to his family and friends, he was a kind, hard-working student with absolutely no history of confrontation. On the night of the incident, Henry was walking home alone after spending the evening out. During his walk, he crossed paths with 23-year-old Vickrum Digwa. During the encounter, Digwa severely assaulted Nowak, inflicting a fatal wound to the chest using a 21-centimeter bladed weapon. When emergency services were alerted via a 999 call, Digwa deployed a false narrative. He claimed that he had been racially abused and assaulted, acting in self-defense.
Police emergency?
Yeah, we just been attacked by someone racially. Yeah, this.
Right.
He just attacked it, took it to start off. Sorry? Huh? Sorry, we just got attacked racially by some white person.
Right, okay. Whereabouts are you?
We're on Belmont Road.
Just out in the street, are you?
Sorry?
You're just in the street?
Yeah, literally, I just parked up my car to come home and he's attacked my brother.
Are you talking about verbally or physically?
No, he physically attacked my brother. We're Sikhs, we wear a turban and he's just attacked my brother.
Have any weapons been involved?
No. No.
Okay,
Leave him 1 second. I'm calling the police. Leave him. We'll restrain him, please. Sorry?
Is that person still there?
Yeah, we're restraining him right now because he's just attacked my brother and took my brother's turban off.
Hold on.
Can we have
tell me a
someone out here,
number
please, ASAP?
Yeah, you can. Tell me a number you're outside of, can you?
No, so Belmont Road down the police station. Pardon?
Okay, I've got you. Bear with me.
And he's also recorded some as well on his phone. So can we please have the police out here urgently?
Yeah. Listen, I'll get someone there straight away. It's not going to delay anything now. Just bear with me. I need some details, okay? So just answer some questions.
He's verbally attacked my brother racially. He's attacked my brother and took his turban off. Then he's recorded it on his phone thinking he was going to do something. So I need someone here ASAP, please.
We're
restraining him, so I'm not letting him. I can't let him go until this gets sorted. I'm not being racially attacked and letting this get away with.
Okay, listen.
He sees some brown people. That's what it was.
Has your brother got any injuries? I know they pulled his turban off.
We don't need no apologies. We're waiting for the police to come. They're on their way.
Peppery, just talk to me.
Yes.
Has your brother got any injuries, or have you got any injuries?
I haven't, because I've just come back to my brother. My brother's had his hair pulled and stuff. The guy has fallen over because he looks like he's drunk, and he's fallen over and he's hurt his face.
Because of this initial report, the first responding officers from the Hampshire and Isle of Wight Constabulary arrived at the scene operating under the belief that Digwa was the victim and that Henry was the primary aggressor. This brings us to the body cam footage that ignited public outrage.
My dad's holding it now.
He keeps dropping side to side, so I'm just trying to keep him set up.
Alright.
He's got a mouthful of blood, I don't want him...
He was on the bin on the other side of this gate.
He's jumped over these fences and stuff like that. And he's up
Move
here.
away, mate.
He's obviously... He's fallen from there and he slipped from there.
There's other shooters left over there, mate.
What's your name, mate? Huh? Has anyone been hurt other than him?
Yeah, me. He's grabbed my brother, he's took my turban off, started grabbing my head.
Are you injured?
Yeah, I've got swollen eye, little bruise.
Alright, just step back a little bit for me. Someone flag these down.
Got this stud.
Right, let's get you out of there, shall we? Oh.
I was in bed asleep. My neighbour just found me up there, look, someone's attacked me.
I can't breathe.
Grab his other arm.
Help. So I've just come running, we only live
Blood,
on
blood.
St Denny's Road.
Right.
Come running around the corner.
What's happened to you, alright? You've been whereabouts? I don't think you have, mate.
Look, that's what, and then I'm like, you've got mouthful of, I want to keep you up, keep your...
Hand?
I can't breathe.
Put the hand in the cuff, mate.
This is like numerous times this has happened to us. We've been walking, we parked literally multiple times we've had people racist
90 foot.
nothing happened.
Saying he's abs.
Where is it? In the face? Oh no, but we have to check, don't we?
No.
In the face?
Just get these to back off, get their details on that, and I'll keep hold of them.
Should we
Right, keep you on your side, mate. You better retrieve then.
Say again.
Saying to him, I'm keeping him on his side. We were sat up when we had him here, but he didn't like it. What's your name, mate? At the moment you are under arrest, that's for assault, so you do not have to say anything, may harm in defence. If you do not mention when questioned, it's up to which you later line in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence, alright? It's going to be sick, I think. I just want you to call it.
Yeah, we've got this male, he's
just
been beat up. Are we able to get an ambulance, please? His pupils aren't even reacting. Yeah.
Because of the false information provided at the scene, when officers approached Henry, they treated him as the suspect and placed him in restraints. In the footage, Henry is seen lying on the ground, repeatedly telling the officers that he has been severely hurt and is struggling to breathe.
I was in bed asleep. My neighbour just found me up there, look, someone's attacked me.
I can't breathe.
Grab his other arm.
One officer responds, "Don't think you have, mate."
You've been stabbed whereabouts? I don't think you have, mate.
Henry passed away shortly after midnight from fatal internal injuries. Hampshire police have since apologized for restraining the teenager after the assault.
Saying sorry for handcuffing and arresting Henry. We're genuinely saying that, you know, I hope the conviction of the killer in court is at least some you know, some comfort to the family. But I appreciate they're going through a difficult time, and I understand why they've criticised the police in the way they do. They have done. I get it. I understand it.
High-level officials have also weighed in. Shabana Mahmood described the incident as an act of pure evil, and the body cam footage as disturbing and tragic.
They deserve answers in particular about what happened on that awful night and the actions of the police officers who arrived on the scene. I expect many in this House and many more across this country have now seen the police officers' body cam footage released last night. It is, without question, a disturbing and tragic thing to see. People are rightly asking questions about how the situation was handled, and they are shocked and disquieted to hear Henry's words, "I can't breathe." I know that it is difficult to wait any longer for answers, but there is a proper process to assess whether there have been incidents of police misconduct. led by the Independent Office for Police Conduct, the IOPC. They will determine what could and should have been done differently. They will determine what action may need to be taken against individual officers. The family yesterday called on me, and I quote, to ensure the IOPC has the resources, authority and independence it needs to conduct a full, fearless and transparent investigation. Mr. Speaker, I can confirm to you today that I will do so. The IOPC will be equipped and encouraged to act to find the truth and to ensure, if necessary, that there are consequences.
Prime Minister Keir Starmer met with Nowak's family, calling the entire case awful and shocking. The investigation quickly dismantled Digwa's claims. A covertly recorded conversation captured Digwa discussing the altercation and agreeing to claim self-defense, and prosecutors argued he fabricated the abuse claims to portray himself as the victim. During the trial at Southampton Crown Court, the jury rejected his claims of self-defense. On May 28, 2026, Vickrum Digwa was convicted of the primary offense and possession of a bladed weapon, while his mother, Kieran Kaur, was found guilty of assisting an offender by concealing the weapon. Digwa was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum term of 21 years. And as of just a few days ago, on June 2, 2026, Digwa appeared in court again on completely separate weapons charges alongside his father, Moga Singh, and brother, Gurpreet Digwa. The aftermath has been explosive. Justice for Henry Nowak rallies held outside Southampton's Central Police Station turned into violent disorder, with car windows smashed and objects thrown. Alexis Boone, the chief constable for Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, stated that 11 officers and a police dog were injured during the unrest. As of this weekend, 6 more people were charged with violent disorder, bringing the total number of individuals charged over the Southampton unrest to 11. The local Sikh community has faced severe, unwarranted backlash, with community leaders warning of rising hostility. A spokesman for Gurdwara Khalsa Darbar stated that people are feeling targeted and are hesitant to leave their homes, leaving the community center empty. A planned memorial event was even canceled due to safety concerns. Amidst the unrest and online fury, Henry's family has remained dignified. His father, Mark Nowak, asked the public not to use his death to create division, a sentiment echoed by the Prime Minister in the Commons, who urged the public not to let the tragedy be hijacked by those seeking to divide the country. Currently, the Attorney General's office has received requests to review Digwa's 21-year sentence under the unduly lenient sentence scheme. That's it for today. I'll see you in the next one.